Welcome to the first of two videos to discuss the ideas and designs of gears. Our first video will be using a website called woodgears.ca/gears, and we'll be using this to demonstrate how to work out the correct sizes of gears. So you can it'll allow us to do some experimentation. And then our second video will be looking at how to draw the light gears on SketchUp in order to make them either via the laser, 3D printer, or the plasma cutter. So I'm going to start off with what is a gear. So a gear is basically, it's a wheel with teeth around the outside edge like so. The teeth can be altered to suit different applications and suit your needs and design preferences. We can change how many teeth are on the gear, and as you can see, as I reduce the number of teeth, I'm reducing the diameter of the overall gear itself. I can increase and decrease the spacing in between the teeth, which then also increases the diameter of the overall gear. So we have a bit of a relationship between tooth spacing and how many teeth are actually on the gear itself. We can increase the number of teeth and decrease the spacing, and I can increase the teeth again and create a gear that has many teeth. The more teeth you have on your gear and the tighter they are together, so if I reduce the spacing again and make it very tight, the smoother the gear will run. The further apart the teeth are, and in relationship with the tooth, the gear can end up could be a little bit clunky. So there's a bit of a relationship that you may want to consider when designing your particular gears. The next section of the gear we want to pay attention to is this section here, is this curved point. And this is what's called the contact angle. Currently it's at 20 degrees. And by altering this, you watch the angle itself, you'll see that it's starting to change. So we can take it down to a contact angle of 0. And if I keep going, I go up and up and up, it's going to take me to a contact angle of 45 degrees. So depending on what your design calls for, you can change and alter these different preferences within your gear. Just for a point of reference, most on SketchUp, the contact angles tend to be between 15, 20, and 25 degrees. Alright, so we've got one gear here. I'm going to put in the second gear. So often, usually you have one gear, you're going to want two. So I now here have two gears. This first gear has a ratio, has 20 teeth, and this one here has 10 teeth. And you can see how these two are meshing together. If I watch how these two, if you click the animate button, you can see how these two move together like so. This particular program allows us to put in some spokes, so you can really kind of get an idea of what these things can look like. So this particular gear here, this one that has 20 teeth and this one that has 10 teeth, this will give us a ratio. This ratio will be for every 2 turns of this gear, this will turn once. So it will give me a ratio of 2 to 1. I can alter that ratio by changing the number of teeth on the second gear. So if I have 20 teeth and 20 teeth, they now have the same amount of teeth, so we're going to have a ratio of 1 to 1. And if I change the first one, I now have a ratio of 2, of 1 to 2. Why do you want to change ratios? Okay, so you're going to change. Well, you're going to want ratios when you want to either increase the speed of an object or increase the overall power output. Right now, if this is my driven gear and this is my driver gear, if this one is giving the input and this is going to go around, for every 1 turn that this goes around, this will go around twice. So it'll increase your output speed by 2. So depending on your application, you may want to change and think about how fast, or do you want speed, or do you want power to be your overall outcome. Both of these gears currently have a 20 degree contact angle, and as you can see, as I change the contact angles, the mesh points still work the same. And you can see if I animate this, you can see how these kind of blend into each other. On this program here, if you change the contact angle down here, both gears will alter. You have to remember that when you are doing this, when you're designing your own gears, that both gears must have the same contact angle and they must have the same tooth spacing in order to mesh correctly. If they don't mesh correctly, or if you don't have the correct tooth spacing or the similar tooth spacing, the contact angle, they will not work well together, and you will find that they will end up jamming on you and not work well. Right now, so we have this tooth spacing. You can see if I alter the tooth spacing, and I'm going to decrease the teeth. You can see how these gears can change. So that's your basics on working with gears using the woodgears.ca gear cutting template. This is a great place, a great site to kind of just try your gears out, to kind of see what the ratios you want and see how things are gonna work. And then once you've got your basic idea and they work okay for you, then I would suggest that we start to look at how to put these gears into SketchUp. Okay, thank you very much.